Hey, hi, thank you for coming by my site. This is Tori Magoo 44. It is Monday, the 11th of January, 2010. And I have with me my friend Casper.
Hi, how you doing?
And I wanted to ask him a few questions on a YouTube site. So how'd you get into being interested in Scientology? He was never in Scientology, but he's a critic of Scientology and very good at it.
Many years ago, I had a job where I had to drive around and servers had to go into houses and stuff. And I was parked on Berendo Way, and
which is now L. Ron Hubbard Way.
Yes, and at the time you could park on the street. I was servicing an apartment building there, and I come out and I'm doing my paperwork in my truck and I'm eating lunch, and one of the security guards come up on their bicycle, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "What do you mean what I'm doing here? I'm a service guy. I got the service truck with the service uniform on, and and then I'm like, what? It's a skinny kid, and it's like, what's going on here that they come to the street and ask me what I'm doing here, and then that kind of got me interested. And the more in Hollywood, the more I looked around it, the more things that just didn't make sense and add up as being a normal religion, because it's supposed to be a church, and it certainly didn't act like a church, and and that's what kind of got me going. And years later, I saw Mark Bunker's site, which Tori was talking in front of CFI, and that kind of got the ball rolling. And then the original anonymous raids and pickets and stuff, the global pickets, and then at one of the pickets, I got fair game, got chased around by a private eye, and that kind of pulled me in.
Excellent. And what do you think about the security guards? You've talked to them a bunch. What is your feeling as someone who is never in? What does it feel like when these guys basically won't talk to you, or they're kind of obnoxious to you? How does that seem?
They seem like people are very controlled. They seem very normal people underneath, but they're very controlled. Their actions are very well monitored. So that's how I feel. Yeah, they're not all themselves. Yeah, they're awkward. Yeah, they're being awkward. We're natural. We can talk, but they can't. They're not allowed to freely speak. And you can see they do want to talk, and they do want to have a conversation with real people. But they, since I guess they get crammed for or whatnot, they're under control, so
they get in trouble.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
It is.
It's a barrier to people communicating.
So if you could have your way, if you could say to children of parents that are not talking to their kids, because Scientology breaks up families. What would you say to them? What do you think? Look here and talk to them. Like, maybe they're watching. They might be watching right now.
Oh, parents that can't talk to their children because it's
no, kids that won't talk to their parents.
Talk to your parents. Forget big organizations and the eternity and all that stuff. Your parents brought you into this world. They're the real OTs. They're the people who really, and they still love you. And don't disconnect from your parents. That's the worst thing. If you got parents that love you, you're blessed, and don't throw that blessing away.
That is so well said. Thank you. It's so true. And it's like life is only so long. And I see people all the time just kind of like flick off their parents or flick off their loved ones and think, whatever. And I know Scientologists have their thing of like, well, we're coming back next lifetime. And, but it's a very shallow way to live, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's abusive. It's very harmful to the parents or the loved ones. It's creepy. One of the things you do that I love is you roller skate. He'll pick it and skate because he skates. He's a really good skater. Tell him about you skating.
I love skating. I was on a speed skating team. I'm still on a speed skating team. I love skating and just enjoy skating in general. So I like skating tickets and it's very uptone when I skate. So
yeah, it's fun. My favorite one is when you're skating down the block with one of the anonymous flags. I love that. Looks really great. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, we've noticed that, a number of you have probably noticed a lot of these buildings are going up and they're renovating. And, I showed you last night how LA Org is, if you click on the link on the video that I made last night, I'm glad put up the photographs of the LA Org renovated, or it's gutted, there's nothing there. And supposedly they're going to renovate it into an ideal org. And we were talking about it today, and it's like, what is behind that, really? And you know what I think is really behind that? Because it has been in the past. And history repeats itself. And in the past, they've used the money that people that are in think is helping clear the planet But in truth, they've used it for their legal funds. And David Miscavige is getting fleeced this year because he himself has dug a hole in very deep, and now he's in a couple, 2 or 3 lawsuits. So I think they're building these buildings, renovating them with the real intention of getting money to help with these legal funds. That's what I think. What do you think?
I think so. Yeah, because they're going to need the money.
Right.
Because the way the sounds of the lawsuits sound, they're going to need some money for a legal fund, especially with all the lawyers seem to defect now.
So we're going to go over and see our friends and see what's happening tonight. So we'll talk to you later. Is there anything else you want to say?
That's it. That covers it.
Keep doing what you're doing. Everybody is really doing some fantastic stuff. This is a good year. All right. Peace out. Talk to you guys soon. Ciao. Thanks for coming by.